Being the future of the league isn't just about talent, it's about proving you're the one to beat.
Goes quick against Holmgren and slammed it home.
For Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama, two of the NBA's most promising young giants, each game is a chance to stake their claim. With incredible size, elite mobility, and skills that defy their positions, these unicorns have captured the league's attention. Drafted near the top and hailed by legends like Charles Barkley, Chet and Wemby are kicking off their second seasons with one of the most anticipated head-to-head matchups of the year. Today, we're diving into this electrifying showdown. Let's break it down. Holmgren and Wembanyama entered the league just a year apart. Holmgren was drafted second overall in the 2022 NBA draft, while Wemby went first overall in 2023. But they both made their debuts in the 2023-24 season, as Holmgren missed a full year after suffering a Lisfranc injury while defending LeBron James during a Jamal Crawford's Pro-Am event. Both players showed flashes of elite potential in their first season, though Wemby's star shone brighter. He was, after all, one of the most hyped NBA prospects since LeBron James. Wemby edged out Holmgren for the Rookie of the Year award, in large part due to a dominant performance in a win against Chet and the OKC Thunder on February 29, 2023, which we've covered in detail on this channel.
Amongst all of his teammates.
Amazing.
And if you notice his post-game media sessions as Wembanyama.
However, Holmgren's team was better built and far more successful. While the Spurs finished the regular season 26th, far away from the playoffs, Oklahoma City captured the #1 seed in the West, with Holmgren, MVP candidate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, co-star Jalen Williams, and a deep roster that fit OKC's system to a T. The Thunder rolled through the New Orleans Pelicans in the first round and fought hard in the second round before losing to the eventual conference champions, the Dallas Mavericks. Holmgren experienced postseason play while Wemby watched from home. Wembanyama eventually had his chance at meaningful summer basketball, competing with the French Olympic team in Paris, where he led France past Germany in the semifinal, and nearly pulled off an upset against Team USA in the gold medal game. The NBA noticed this budding new age rivalry and gave us a gift at the start of the new season. Round 4 of Holmgren vs. Wembanyama on October 30th in Oklahoma City. The Thunder strengthened their rotation in the offseason by trading Josh Giddey to Chicago for Alex Caruso. This move made total sense for OKC. Giddey was a defensive liability and an awkward fit as a third wheel on offense, struggling to mesh with SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet. Caruso, however, is an ace defender and a versatile do-it-all piece on offense, a perfect fit for OKC's style on both ends of the floor. The Spurs also made offseason moves. Looking to add veteran leadership, San Antonio signed Chris Paul, the point guard himself, and traded for Harrison Barnes from the Kings to provide a steadying influence and pick up some of the scoring load while Devin Vassell, their #2 scorer last season, recovers from a foot injury.
No, they won't.
Vassell, 3. Yeah, he puts it down.
Down a key contributor and adjusting to new players, the Spurs arrived in Oklahoma City with a 1-2 record, but were somewhat battle-tested after close games against division rivals Dallas and Houston. The Thunder, on the other hand, were coming in hot at a perfect 3-0, with all of their wins coming by at least 15 points. They were expected to win this one fairly easy as well, favored by 12.5 points per ESPN bet. Individual stats were also in Chet's favor. Through 3 games, Holmgren was averaging 23.7 points on an impressive 56% shooting, along with 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 blocks per game, while anchoring a truly elite Thunder defense, the only one in the league so far allowing fewer than 100 points per 100 possessions. Wemby, on the other hand, came into the matchup averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 2.7 blocks, but with a less efficient 41% field goal percentage and a rough 22% from beyond the arc, largely due to a steady diet of tough, contested shots. Eyes were locked on the matchup of the night, 2 lanky, ultra-skilled big men facing off. The media, of course, was eager to stoke the rivalry, only for both players to play it down, trying to shift focus to their teams. Chet Holmgren, speaking on the podcast P Show with NBA star Paul George, stated there was no beef with Victor, saying they're just competing and want to win. Wemby and the Spurs tried even harder to downplay the one-on-one matchup, with head coach Greg Popovich irritated by the mere mention of the question, per Kelly Iko of The Athletic. Meanwhile, Wembanyama didn't mention Chet by name at all during his media sessions, aiming not to stir things up. But Malika Andrews and Michael C. Wright of ESPN managed to turn it on its head.
Chet is not exactly Candyman, but Victor will not even say the man's name.
Wembanyama was loudly booed when introduced with the starters, right before ex-Oklahoma City player Chris Paul received cheers. Chet Holmgren continued what the fans started and set the tone from the very first possession of the game. Not many people on earth can disrupt a Wemby alley-oop, but Chet is clearly one of them. He then blocked Jeremy Sohan's layup on the same possession, showcasing the vaunted OKC defense in action. The Thunder weren't playing into the anticipated matchup defensively, though, with Jalen Williams and Dort taking the primary Wembanyama assignment early in possessions while Chet protected the paint. The Thunder were playing Victor tough, making him work for every touch and showing a wall of players near the rim when he caught the ball, forcing him to make hard decisions with the ball in his hands. After surrendering an early turnover due to that pressure and giving up a layup to Dort, Wemby and the Spurs regrouped and responded with an 8-0 run. During that span, Victor scored 4 points and made an assist while also trying to establish himself defensively. The Thunder had to call a timeout to stop San Antonio's momentum, and at the 8-minute mark, Holmgren got on the board with an early possession 3, tying the game at 10. Oklahoma City took advantage of the Spurs' lackluster bench play, extending their run to 13-2, going up by 5 points before Wemby re-entered the game. Wembanyama's body language after the first quarter was telling. He was frustrated, hounded by OKC, and not getting the ball on the block when there was a mismatch. After the first quarter, the Thunder led 26-19. Holmgren registered 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 1 steal. Wembanyama's response was 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. The second quarter brought more of the same for San Antonio. Wemby fell trying to catch an entry pass, and Holmgren capitalized on the opportunity, running down the court for a dunk in transition. After the play, the Spurs called a timeout, and Wemby headed to the locker room. He was walking on his own power, but you could tell he was limping after that fall. Without their star, San Antonio surrendered another 9-point swing, and Chet showcased his skills against the Spurs' backup big, Zach Collins. Holmgren pulled up for a smooth mid-range shot, took Collins all the way to the rim, and then hit a quick 3. Wembanyama returned to the game a little after the 7-minute mark of the quarter. The Thunder welcomed him back with more pestering defense on post catches, forcing Vic to get the ball on the perimeter and daring him to shoot from the outside. The strategy worked to perfection. Holmgren became so confident that he tried an alley-oop to himself off the glass against Wemby, but Victor was having none of it. The Spurs made a push to close the gap before halftime, with Wemby pump-faking Holmgren out of his shoes and creating a shot for Chris Paul. After the break, the Thunder tightened the screws on Wemby even more, hounding him into what was arguably the worst 2 quarters of his professional career, and his worst NBA game. His 6 points in the first half would be his final total for the game. Add in 3 missed 3-pointers and 4 turnovers, and you get the perfect defensive plan executed by the Thunder. Chet, on the other hand, was a perfect 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, finishing with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in a loud revenge game, a 12-point win by the Thunder. With a chance to throw a post-game dig at the opponent, Chet took the high road and went back to the team-first attitude. I enjoy every single day, being able to wake up, come play basketball, take care of my family doing it, Holmgren said, asked what he enjoys about the matchup. It's what I've always wanted to do. It's what I always want to do, as long as I'm able to do it. That doesn't change game by game, but no matter what, it's always going to be Thunder versus our opponent.
I enjoy every single day being able to wake up, come play basketball, and take care of my family doing it.
In this first head-to-head game of the season for this budding rivalry, Chet Holmgren got his revenge for missing out on the Rookie of the Year award. More importantly to him, the Thunder secured the win, keeping their momentum as they continue to prove they're true title contenders, showing Wemby and the Spurs they still have work to do. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these young stars do you think will have a better second season? Let us know in the comments. We'll be following their basketball journeys closely, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon to stay updated on the latest highlights and our in-depth breakdowns. See you in the next video.